as our advertising revenues decline, companies become companies look for alternative ways to get their message across than through advertising. They are aggressively pushing different types of advertising, different types of messaging and marketing, which we as journalists, we as news organizations, have to try to accommodate. Of course we do. We want to help them get their message across. It's how we pay for a lot of our journalism still. But we have to preserve our independence. We have to be genuinely independent. And that's a challenge. And some news organizations, quite frankly, I won't name any names, but have not been very good at resisting that pressure from companies, from marketers, to influence the way in which their journalism is carried out and the way it looks. What those businesses would like to do is essentially blur the distinction between objective, fair journalism, real journalism, and the message from those companies. And we have to be careful to make sure that we don't let them do that, to make sure there's a distinction. I think in order to be genuinely independent, we need, and I think this applies particularly in the UK, we need to be mindful of we need to be mindful of journalistic ethics and standards, more mindful than I think many news organisations have been. Journalistic ethics have been very much in the news in this country over the last few years, but the issues I'm talking about go way beyond some of the more dramatic stories we've seen in the news. There is, in too many news organisations, too much of a culture of codependence between news organisations and the people and the companies they report on. It's too cozy. I don't, for example, think it's I think it's not a very good example of. It wouldn't meet our ethical standards at the Wall Street Journal for a news organisation, for example, to give awards to companies that news organisation covers. Creates the possibility, if not the actual fact, of conflicts of interest. There is still too much, I think, of a closeness, of an intimacy in the relationship between the way too many news organisations report and the companies that they report on. That, I think, has to change. That has to change too. So independence, maintaining our independence and protecting and strengthening our independence is really the best way to ensure that we will continue to have functioning, quality business journalism.